Hey guys, it's me, cyoubx. Today we're doing an unboxing from SpeedCubeShop. Inside should be two different things, both of which have been out for a little bit now, but I wanted to get them myself to see how good they were. You'll see what they are, well, right now, I guess. So the first thing in the package is this lube, which is like from a new line of lube products from SpeedCubeShop. I forgot the names of these individual bottles, but essentially this is like the Martian, Nebula, and something else. I'll be testing these out and then I'll sort of give you an impression of them at the end of this video. The other thing in this package is a newer cube. This is an invoice. As you can see, inside is the GTS2. So this cube has been out for a while now. I didn't get it right away because I just didn't really have time to make videos. The box, as you guys all know, is magnetic, which is really nice. And then cube, card. So I say this sometimes when cubes come in nice packages. I know the cube is more important, but honestly a nice box I think does make a difference, and this is quite nice, so good job, Moyu. The cube itself. Alright, so pretty standard stickers. Before I even do turns, I kind of just want to see the pieces. They're a little bit different, but not too different. You can definitely see the resemblance to the original WeiLong GTS. Alright, so first turns. Oh, this is actually pretty nice. I've heard some people say that they didn't like it out of the box and that it needs magnets or whatever, but this is actually quite good. I would say this is actually better than the GTS version 1, as is. It is pretty loose, but I think I can deal with that. Yeah, it's a little bit floppy. So I'm going to set up this cube with this lube, and I'll come back with a quick update. Alright guys, I'm back. I have a lot of things to say. Let's actually go over the lubes first. So I actually looked it up, and I can tell you the difference now. Basically, like I said before, they just range in gumminess and speed. So the Martian is the thinnest, the Galaxy is the second, and the Nebula is the thickest. So something to keep in mind is that none of these lubes are actually that thick. They're all pretty low viscosity, and they're all going to make your cube pretty fast. In general, my recommendation is to use the Martian for big cubes. You would use it a little bit like Maru Lube, where you just strip it in, and it sort of just mixes in. For 3x3s and other cubes that are maybe too fast and you want to slow it down, the Nebula is really good, and that's actually what I ended up using in the GTS2. And if you want something that's sort of in between fast and slow, then the Galaxy is for you. But personally though, I would probably stick with the Martian and the Nebula because I do big cubes and 3x3, and these are the two lubes that I would use most. But obviously it's different for everyone. Now onto the cube itself. This is a pretty good feeling cube. Like, it feels very quality. The turning also feels pretty good. As it's a new cube, it's a little bit sandy, but it's also very smooth. After I lubed it with this Nebula lube, the cube slowed down quite a bit. I also tightened it because the tensions were too loose. So right out of the box, I would say it was a little bit too fast and a little bit too flimsy. Now it's a little bit more stable, but it still catches a little bit just because the cube flexes a tad. But overall, it's a pretty good feeling cube. To be honest with you guys though, I think this cube is quite standard, at least right now out of the box. I don't see it as being something that's amazingly better than any other cube out there, nor is it worse. I think it's just on par. However, because the cube is a little bit flimsy, I could see how magnets make this a lot better. So I don't have one, nor have I felt one, but I'm pretty comfortable in recommending that you should put magnets into the GTS2 because this cube could definitely need it, and with it I think it would actually be really, really good. That being said, without magnets, this cube is still fine. I got about the same times on this as I do with any other cube. It's a little bit unfortunate, but my SD card literally ran out as I was recording my first average of 5 with this, which was like a 10.7 average of 5. Unfortunately though, the last couple solves didn't actually record, so I had to redo it, and the solves were not as easy as they were in my first average. But all is to say that this cube is okay. I wouldn't say it's a lot better than others, but it's definitely not worse. And I guess my recommendation is that if you want to magnetize a new cube, then I think this is a pretty good candidate, but otherwise, if you don't like magnetic cubes, or if you don't feel like magnetizing anything, I would actually give this a pass, at least for now. As far as reviewing this puzzle, I don't know that I will. If I find something that's very, very different than what I'm saying right now, then I'll make an update, for better or for worse. But if you don't hear from me, then these sort of first impressions are what I think of the cube in general. And for something like this, I feel like my first impressions are going to hold. So again, just to recap, the lubes are fantastic. I would go with the Martian and the Nebula. I would get both of them. If you can only get one, then I guess the Galaxy is the way to go, since it's sort of a medium. But in general, I think the Martian and the Galaxy are the best of the bunch. As far as the GTS2, I think it's a good cube, but I wouldn't say that it's better than like a Volk or even a GTS version 1, but it's certainly not worse. So if you want an upgrade, this is not it. However, if you want to magnetize a new cube, I think this is a pretty good choice. Again, I have not personally felt one, nor do I have one, but my guess is that this would work really well with magnets, so I would give that a shot. But with that being said, this was just a quick unboxing and first impressions of the GTS2. Again, if I find anything that's remarkably different than my first impressions, I'll make a review of this cube, but if you don't hear back from me about this cube, then how I feel now is basically how the cube is. But with that, if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them. Until next time, toodles. Alright, so my neighbor just decided to start vacuuming directly above my head as I'm recording this video. I don't know what to do. So the Martian is the lightest, the Galaxy is the second. I literally can't record, it's so loud.